Food Drive 2026. Hello, everyone. This is Eric View, Executive Vice President of NALC Branch 458, and I want to talk to you today about the annual NALC Food Drive. Every year for the last 30 plus years, the NALC has put on its annual food drive on the second Saturday in May, and it has become the largest one-day donation of food throughout the nation. NALC Branch 458 has consistently finished among the top branches when it comes to food donations, beating many larger branches. Branch 1100 may have the most members, but they don't come close to collecting the most food. How did we get so good at being charitable and humble? I'm going to tell you. This week, carriers should be delivering cards and bags to every occupied residential address on their route. Ideally, the card should be delivered earlier in the week, Monday, Tuesday, maybe even Wednesday. The cards remind our customers that they will be receiving a bag later in the week to fill up with food. Hint: if you had listened to my Edit Book podcast episode, your case label will tell you exactly how many cards you need for each split, loop, whatever you call it. The bags are then delivered Wednesday or Thursday. This gives the customer a couple of days to put together their donation. Bags delivered on Friday don't do much good for customers who do not check their mail every day. But here's a hint. No matter what day you deliver the bags, leave a portion of the bag hanging out of the mailbox when you close the lid, so it will catch the customer's eye. "What's that hanging out of my mailbox?" they'll say. They check, see the bag, and are reminded of the food drive. When it comes to actually delivering the bags, here's another hint. I cannot speak for all the bags manufactured, but if they're the ones that have a tab in the center, right above the opening, you can put your satchel's hook through that hole in that tab and just grab a bag and rip it off as needed, rather than trying to carry a whole lot of bags on your arm or in your satchel like any other third bundle. Now, when it comes time to pick up, I offer the following advice. Do not try to put every donation in your satchel on each loop, only a few. Take the others out to the curb and then drive down the street after delivering that particular portion of your route and pick up the food. Make sure you are being safe. Seatbelts on, doors shut, tires curbed, etc. when required. My first year, once my satchel got a little too heavy, I stopped picking the donations up and then would just drive down the street. But I hadn't moved them to the curb, so I was walking up to each and every porch with a donation like I was dismounting a package. Obviously, this took more time and made for some unnecessary overtime. Now, management is not authorized to approve overtime for the reason of food drive. But in all my years of doing the food drive, I have never seen a carrier disciplined for overtime due to picking up food drive donations. USPS knows this food drive is great publicity for them, and right now they need all they can get. On Saturday, the number of volunteers who converge on the various post offices is a sight to see. In fact, I learned that we had so many volunteers this year for some of our locations that they are being sent to other areas to help out. Just Oklahomans being Oklahomans, I guess. They unload the donations from the carrier's postal vehicles, sort the food for the food bank. Then you have the members of management who volunteer. Surprising, I know. I've seen them help pick up donations from carriers. Funny story. One year, my station manager was driving a 2-ton with the station steward in the passenger seat. They would come to the carriers, grab all the donations they had gathered to that point, and as they were leaving my vehicle, I watched as the manager took off down the road before the steward had his seatbelt on and the door shut. If only that bald-headed safety guy could have seen that. I've seen management do a cookout at the station for when the carriers come back in off the street. I've also seen them just drive out and just pick up the donations directly themselves. As in years past, monetary donations are also appreciated by your local food bank, but this year is a little different. In 2026, cash donations to charitable organizations like the Regional Food Bank of Oklahoma can be claimed on your tax return, even if you take the standard deduction. Just another way we can rack those donations up. Plus, the food bank has made it where you can designate which station gets your monetary donation, so we can see who really gets the most food and donations out there. We will provide the QR code to donate to the regional food bank on this podcast website, our Facebook page, our branch page, our website. You'll get it. As I said earlier, this has become the largest one-day donation of food. As letter carriers, that is something we should be immensely proud of, as long as you are one who actually participates. How anyone can call themselves a hero but call the food drive BS is beyond me. Now, there are people out there who refuse to participate in the food drive, and that's their choice. We can't make them pick up the food. I hope they did not sign up for a shirt, though, because those shirts are for the people who actually will be picking up food. However, they cannot refuse to deliver the cards and bags, as they have postage on them, and refusing to deliver those cards and bags is tantamount to delaying the mail. If you do not want to pick up food, let your steward know in advance. There are plenty of volunteer organizations that we and the Regional Food Bank partner with. As I said before, we have more volunteers than we know what to do with. We can make sure there is a volunteer more than willing to help their fellow man by picking up food on your route. It's even worse when this comes from management. We have a self-proclaimed fine Christian woman of a postmaster in western Oklahoma who does not live up to her self-appointed title. Every year, it seems she does everything she can to prevent her carriers from picking up food. Thankfully, the food pantry in Elk City has plenty of volunteers for the carriers who she claims won't pick up food. Or the carrier in Cordell, who one year said those people get food stamps, they don't need food donations, or words to that effect. Just hateful, just plain hateful. As you can tell, I'm very passionate about the food drive, and it just confuses me that people would not want to help those struggling with hunger. As Steve Riggs says, once you've seen one starving child, you never want to see another one again. In a perfect world, there would be no need for volunteers and USPS personnel who actually participate because there would be no hunger. But we do not live in a perfect world. However, we can make our world better by doing all we can for activities like the food drive. Thank you, and as always, be safe out there.
Hey, thank you, Eric, for all those tips and all that information about the food drive this year. I know a few things have changed, and so we wanted to put this episode out. And I don't want to repeat everything that he said, but the tip that he mentioned about hanging the bag out of the mailbox as you're delivering, it's something that I tried last year, and I feel like that I got more donations by doing that because it's just it's something that you see driving down the road through your neighborhood. You whether it's curbside or the mailboxes at the house, you see it house after house after house. So it gets you thinking like, hey, what's that? You know, and unfortunately, not everybody checks their mail every single day. So it's just that one extra thing that we can do to get people to check their mail, hopefully before the food drive between delivering the cards and the bags and May 9th, they check their mail. But also, it's just another reminder because we do forget we're all busy. So even if you do get the food, the card or the bag, you know, and you set it on your counter or your dining room table or wherever you set your mail, and you forget about it until the day after the food drive or the following week, you know, it's just one more reminder to set something out for your mail carrier for us to pick up. And remind all your customers that even if they do forget, we'll still pick it up. The food bank still accepts those donations after the fact, and they plan on it. So, um, aside from all that, we did have an earlier episode last year, or maybe the year before that. I'll try and put the link in this description just in case there's tips on that first episode that we maybe missed on this one. And then everybody, I just want to say thank you. I know Eric mentioned it, but this is a day that you know we can all be heroes. Steve says it every time he goes to stations that we can all be heroes in this one day, and it's very rewarding to be able to do this to help out. And no matter where you're listening to this episode, if you don't know, the food that you pick up stays in the neighborhood that you pick it up. It stays in your community. So you're literally helping your neighbor. whenever you pick up the food, wherever you pick up mail, wherever you deliver mail. It's something that we're not all able to go out and volunteer throughout the year, but this is something that we can do on a normal work day. And if you're off, I know there was a couple years ago, it was my day off. So I went and volunteered and sorted food at my station. I helped sort food. So everybody is able to do something. And from Branch 458, we just want to say thank you for doing it, and we appreciate you. So, everybody, like Eric said, stay safe out there, um, and have a good day.